Welcome to Otakus and Geeks.com reviews. Justin here, and today I'll be reviewing the Japanese 2002 drama film Dolls. Let's talk a little bit about the stories and characters, but as usual, you guys already know. Here's a brief synopsis of the film. Three stories of undying love. Bound by a long red cord, a young couple wanders in search of something they have forgotten. An aging Yakuza returns to the park where he used to meet his long-lost girlfriend. A disfigured pop star confronts the phenomenal devotion of her biggest fan. Let me just give a round of applause for this. Dolls is wonderful. I mean, granted, it's been 10 years since this movie was released, but it still has the same effect the first time I watched it. And like I said in the synopsis, the story is focusing on three separate stories. You have the couple who is bounded by this red cord, which I'm about to explain, an aging Yakuza who's meeting his long-lost girlfriend, and a disfigured pop star who confronts her biggest fan. Now, the young couple follows the story of, and excuse my Japanese, because you guys know I can't pronounce it for ish, Sawaka and Matsumoto. There you go, Matsumoto. Now, Matsumoto, he basically was dating his girlfriend, who is Sawako, and he basically, I should say, he broke up with her because he saw an opportunity that if he married his boss's daughter, he'll move up to the rank of success. Naturally, she doesn't take that well, and she tries, not to give too much spoilers away, she tries to kill herself. And she fails, she doesn't succeed because obviously she's still alive. But the effects of her killing herself has put her in this mental state where she's basically brain dead. She forgot how to really talk. She can't do nothing. She basically is back to the stage of infancy. Her mind is. She can't really talk. She can't put words together. She's very, very, very simple, and there's nothing she can do. And as you're watching the story, he finds out on his wedding day that she did this. So he feels so much regret that he goes there and he finds her at the hospital that she's staying in. And he decides that, it's my fault that you're in this state. So I'm going to stay with you for good. So he leaves everything behind. Everything he's worked so hard for, his new fiance, everything. And these two are just on a journey just to find some type of sense of self and redemption, or for him, redemption, and just wandering. They're just wandering all over the place, just going absolutely nowhere, and just watching these guys and the interaction these two is just heartbreaking, because just the fact that this is someone you used to love, and that you basically you truly did love her, but you left her for someone who's more successful, and now that this happened to her, your feelings come out and you're trying to just bring her back into this world and trying to rekindle that relationship that you had, but you can't really go anymore. There's so much themes in here. It's very symbolic, and it's actually catering to, I believe, an ancient folklore or folktale about at least their story about this red cord, and that's a big, big symbolism, but I don't have too much time to talk about it, but it's really, really great to see, and I'm going to show you in a couple of scenes when I go to the clips what I'm talking about. Now, the second story about the Yakuza who's returning to the park to find his long-lost girlfriend. He lives in regret of, being a Yakuza and things that he's done in his life, and this woman that he met back in the days was like basically this only ray of hope in life through this madness that he lives as being a gangster. And he meets her, he left because he realized that the life that he lived was dangerous, so he left her there, and she said, I'm always going to wait here every Saturday for you. So he comes back, he finally goes there after all these years and still sees her and she comes back every Saturday with 2 sandwiches and 2 meals for them both. And that was just another heartbreaking story. Each character in Dolls has some type of symbolic meaning or some significance. They go through changes. There's so much. These characters pull you in from the beginning. And when I talk about the music and the filmmaking, it just all comes together in this one big piece. And then the final story about this figured pop idol. Honestly, I thought this was kind of the most weakest one and kind of far of a stretch. I didn't really enjoy this particular story, but it's still, a disfigured pop star, you know, she has to deal with not really being that phenomenal person that she was before when she had her beauty and everything else. So she has to come to terms with that. Then you have this guy, regardless of how she looks, still is in love with her and still amazed by the person that she is. And I thought that was an excellent, good story. But like I said, it wasn't really my favorite part of the story. But the theme, so much themes in here of love, redemption, and knowing yourself and forgiveness, and this. I mean, there's any possible real theme that you can get from it. You can just take this movie apart and analyze different themes and undertones, and it just works very, very well. I'm gonna go into a couple of clips so you can see, and then I'll be right back so you can see how brilliant the acting really is. So here's some couple of clips from Dolls. Check it out.
危ないんだよバカ野郎。何やってんだよ。また買ってあげるから。いい匂いですね。
バラが満開なのよ。
ああ、そうですか。
Actually, the first clip that I showed you, you know, just to talk about the acting, that's actually my favorite scene in this whole movie. And you're probably wondering, like, why did I just throw that random clip in there? Because let me talk about a little bit about the character of the, you know, the female who, you know, in the first story with the couple, I believe her name is Sawako, and she basically, she's not doing any dialogue. She barely has any dialogue besides a couple of flashback scenes. So everything that she does has to be basically facial expression. It has to be facial expression. It has to be body movement. And to do that type of acting is, you know, I mean, I know people who are actors, they, you know, they'll tell you that's not easy. That's not really easy to capture when, you know, sometimes some people really need dialogue to really feel that emotion. And she just brought it to you constantly. Constant expression and just her brain dead type of state throughout the whole movie was just remarkable to see. I mean, it's actually harder than it looks, and she pulled it off very, very well. And all the actors I thought just did a wonderful job here, just bringing that realism to these characters and making you really feel the emotion that the story is trying to tell, moving the story along, body movements, chemistry was amazing. Each guy, each woman played off each other in their scenes very, very well, and you just become very immersed in the scene. I thought the acting was really, really brilliant, and you know, this is such an underrated movie. I was truly amazed, especially I think the favorite performer was Sawako, who plays the girl. She was just absolutely amazing. Just to talk a little bit about the music and animation. Music, one of my favorite composers, and if you know anime, you know this man's name, Joe Hisaishi, you know, Mr. Studio Ghibli himself, did a phenomenal job on this score. Once again, Joe brings that element of, you know, he's so good with the piano, you guys. Excellent with the piano, but also brings the strings within this as well. And the soundtrack's only 6 songs. There's only 6 songs in this entire soundtrack. And these 6 songs for a complete, I mean, I've never seen a movie really that just has this much little bit of songs for their whole composition, but when it plays, it works. Some themes are haunting, but a lot of it is just heartbreaking and gut-wrenching. It just makes you go, oh man, I'm really down, or I'm just really uplifted. There's happy themes and there's dark themes and there's really sound mellow themes in these 6 songs, and it just really works very, very well. Just absolutely amazing. Now, just to talk a little bit about the filmmaking by Takeshi Takeshi Kitano. It's a brilliant film all the way. Shots of course, I love cherry blossom shots. Love when they put cherry blossoms in the movie. Just the way they capture the leaves falling off the trees is just absolutely amazing. And it's just a gritty, you know, there's times there's a dark, gritty film, but for the most part, it's just well shot, from camera angles to locations chosen. It's a realistic film. I mean, it really believes that this story can actually happen, because it's just untold. It's a nice dramatic romance, and I thought the camera angles, the location shots was great, and the pacing of this movie was really awesome as well. So final grade, nonetheless, Dolls is a must-see. It's getting an A+. It has amazing characters. It has great music, wonderful cinematography, great themes, great story overall. Ending, the ending was, you know, it's okay, but overall the ride and the rush and the main core of the story, the focus on the young couples, was really going to drag you in. And the other sub stories are really good as well, but the main story, the main meat of the story with the couple is really going to be the one that you're focusing on, and really going to say, man, this was an amazing film. So give Dolls a shot if you can find it. This is Justin from OtakuSgeeks.com saying later days, catch you on the next one. Final grade for Dolls, A+, 5 out of 5 stars. Peace.